Not take very long because we got most of it done yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
So this is just a continuation on yesterday in that 7-2. So I'm not even gonna,
So we don't have to like make any.
you don't need to label it a new section.
Alright.
So
Just like.
continuing 7-2, you don't need to label it, we're just gonna continue
Oh, I
on.
just put it.
Okay. So I'm gonna give you the steps for hypothesis testing, the population mean, large sample. Okay. First thing you do, write a pair of hypotheses, which you're very good at. I didn't check anybody. I'm checking both of them on Monday.
Then why did I do it?
I won't be here Monday or Tuesday.
Oh,
Where are you going? Oh, for your airplane.
determine,
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense.
No,
Or
it
like
does.
the company thing.
determine which tail test, and find your critical Z-score, Z sub 0, that separates the rejection region from the fail to reject region. We did that yesterday. And then, I'm going to use the vocabulary that the book uses, because it comes up on the test that way. You're going to find the standardized test statistic for the sample information. So, what does that actually mean to you? You are going to turn the sample mean into a Z-score. So what this means is turn your X bar, which is your sample mean, into a Z-score. And do you remember how to do that? The formula that we used in the last chapter. Huh?
Oh, no, you gave like rubber
So if you remember, we did it in the last two chapters, I think. You take the sample mean, you subtract the population mean, that'll be in the claim, then you divide by the sample standard deviation over the square root of the sample size. Then after that, you're going to find out, where does this Z-score land? Does it land in the rejection region or the fail to reject region? So your next step is to make your decision. Make a decision. Reject or fail to reject? And then the last step on every single one is to interpret the decision. It's going to be one of those four things that we had on that flow chart yesterday. Interpret. So you've got one of four options here. Claim is true. Claim is false. Meet. Oh, interpret. Is that not right?
No,
Oh.
Josie didn't know.
Oh.
I just couldn't print it.
Neath. Okay. And I'll put that poster back up because it fell. $6 put it cold. Place cold for that. So I do have that flow chart handy for you. It'll be up on the wall or maybe sitting up here on the ledge if it wants to fall down.
It's fabulous website. Oh.
Okay. So you'll be looking at that until you get that memorized. Okay. Are you ready? So we're going to do one by hand. If you feel like you need a second one, we'll do a second one. Then after that, there's a program for this hypothesis testing too. So we'll do both.
Why do we ever do it so long? It's always a program.
I know. like I said at the beginning, I always teach both because I don't know what you're going to be doing later on if you have to take it again, so I just cover all the bases for you. So I should get a thank you for that.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay.
What is it? I'm outside.
It looks foggy. It's really foggy. Not much.
But I found it this morning.
It may not.
Hey, guys, your chit chat today's kind of not focused at all
Only
here.
12 this year.
I
Well,
know.
there's 9 of us.
There's 9.
And so you're worse than when there's a full group here.
Yeah, there's 9. Where's the 9?
There's 10 people.
My heart is not here.
My heart's not in it.
I probably didn't know.
Yeah, me too.
I
Okay.
forgot to count. I forgot to count.
Here's the claim. The claim being made, it says the CEO of the firm claims that the mean workday for all of its accountants is less than 8.5 hours. A random sample of 35 workers has a mean of 8.2 hours with standard deviation a half hour, 0.5 hours. Test at 1%. Okay. So again, at the end, Jake and Sam, you did so well on that test that I can understand you goofing around back there, not paying attention, so keep going.
I did about like 62%.
You could not compare to him. Okay. So when they're all together, all of this on the test, that's where you guys got a little messed up. So you have to write the claim. First thing is to write the pair of hypotheses. Get the symbol right, because the symbol is going to tell you which section to go to on your note card. We are working, the claim is about the mean workday. So what symbol are you going to use? Which one? Which mean?
Which one do you want?
What are claims always about?
Then you want
The population. If he's claiming this for all of his employees. So the claim in symbols is that the mean is less than 8.5 hours. So what is the claim, the ho or the ha? Which one is it? It's the ha. That makes the ho, what's the opposite of less than? Okay, so on a test, you get a point for the symbol, and then a point for getting the signs right, and then a point for labeling ho and ha. So all of this stuff has to be on every problem. So how many points was that? 1, 2, 3 points right there. Okay, that's the first step. The second step on the 5 steps I gave you was determine which tail test. Which of these two do I look at to determine which tail test? The ha. The ha has a less than in it, which means left tail. So I will see a sketch on all of these with a shaded region over here. There's a point. How much is shaded? 0.01. We need the critical z-score, which they call z sub 0. Why is it a z and not a t or a chi? Because I'm working with mean over 30. That's why it's a z. How do we get it? Inf norm of 1% shaded, 99% unshaded. Area to the left of this spot is 0, 1. What does it come out? So that z-score right there is negative 2.33. Okay, the next step, we're on the third step. I'll put it back under here real quick. Good. So, we wrote the pair of hypotheses, we determined the tail and found the critical z. Now we've got to find the standardized test statistic for the sample information. That means turn your sample mean into a z-score with this formula. Okay? So, the sample of 35 has a mean of 8.2. So this is my x bar right here, because it's from the sample. And what is the 0.5? That's the S. So I need to turn 8.2 into a z-score so I can see where it lands on this graph. So the z-score for 8.2. If you look at your notes, it's the sample mean minus the population mean, divide by the standard deviation over the square root of the sample size. Okay, so several people write that down correctly, but not know how to use the calculator. If you want to do that all in one line, what do you need? Where?
Around the 0.2 minus 0.5.
The numerator, which is that subtraction,
And around the 0.5 divided by 6.
and then the fraction, that's the denominator. If you don't put the parentheses in, you will get the wrong answer.
Do I have to tell them parentheses of 35?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I got negative 3.55.
Any verify?
Yeah.
Okay. So now we want to know, well, where is that on this graph? Did you put, let me see. Show it to me. Oh, you need to hit divide by square root of 35. You multiply by square root of 35. Okay. All right. So where does that fall on this graph here? Remember, this is a number line.
In the left.
Where the 0 is in the middle. This was at negative 2.33. Where is negative 3.55 at? It's in the black part. Do you agree with that? That this is negative 3.55? Which region is that shaded part? What do we call that? We have two regions. We have reject region and we have fail to reject region. Oh, you remember from yesterday? Shaded is reject, unshaded is fail to reject. So maybe we better put that down. Shaded equals reject the hope. Unshaded is called the fail to reject region. So we are in the shaded, so we are rejecting. What are we rejecting? We always test the whole, not the claim. So your decision is going to be to reject the whole. Now I have to finish by saying something about the claim. So this is where you use your little poster. We got to start at the top. Was our claim the whole or was our claim the half? Our claim was the half, so I'm over here on the flow chart. And what decisions did we make? We rejected the whole, so what does that say about the claim? The claim is true. He is not lying about it.
Are we always supposed to use the half?
No, it's whatever the claim is, whatever the claim starts out as. The claim could start out as a whole or it could start out as a half. It could be either one. So that's why there's both parts here. So, claim is true.
Why?
That's the final.
Why is the shaded part rejected?
Just the way it is.
Oh,
I don't know.
we don't know why. It's
Well, that's the way they